Goku, the father that I never had. I want to preface this video by first stating that I absolutely love Son Goku. He is one of my most favorite fictional characters of all time, and there are so many reasons why. Goku is the father that I never had. Now, what do I mean exactly when I say that? I mean that it's gonna sound crazy, guys, but genuinely, when I was growing up, I didn't have a strong father figure in my life. My real father wasn't really around for the majority of my childhood, and I didn't really have a strong person that I could look up to and really gain any sort of real masculinity from. So with that being said, Goku actually was the one that stepped in and fulfilled that role for me, even though he was a fictional character. The first reason that I love Goku so much is that he's so carefree and always authentic. Guys, it's no secret that someone who is carefree and authentic and has some of those personality traits are very attractive to everyone around them. And the reason behind why I think that is because someone who's authentic is not afraid of being themselves. It shows that they're secure within themselves, they're mature. Someone who's carefree, and when I say carefree, I kind of mean that they don't let things get to them very well. Like, they don't express a lot of anger or hatred or negative emotion, even when something goes wrong. And that's a really attractive and powerful trait to have because it really makes you stand out in a world where nowadays it feels like a lot of people don't have some of those traits. Goku came to Earth and he didn't have much experience in any sort of area in life. Growing up and being a Saiyan, an alien species from a different planet, is, how I put this lightly, a very difficult thing to do for him, and he's not very experienced when it comes to adulthood or fitting in with others around him, other humans. And no matter what, though, he is always himself. He was never always the most experienced fighter, as he's had many trainers that have come before him that have taught him everything he knows now. And he's not the most experienced lover, he's not the most experienced father, he's not the most experienced brother figure. But yet, Goku always does his best for his friends and his family regardless. And that's a very powerful trait to have because nobody's perfect. And I think that highlights how important it is to just do the best you can with what you know and what you have, but also be humble enough to allow yourself to learn from others, right? Because if you're humble, you can gain experiences from others that otherwise would be locked off to you and you wouldn't have access to. Because if you're someone who's ignorant and doesn't take the opportunity to gain knowledge, then you limit yourself and you have a limited mindset. Me personally, before I discovered Dragon Ball and most of my childhood, I didn't have much authenticity. I grew up and I always felt like I was looking for trouble when I was, in my teenage years of 14, 15, 16. Obviously, at those points of your life, like everybody thinks that, the whole stigma behind people that age is that they think they know everything and they really don't. They don't have a lot of life experience, yet they feel like they know what's best for them. They feel like they know what's best for others. And not only is it not true, but especially for someone like me, I always was very ignorant. I was arrogant. I felt like I was better than other people. I could easily put people down when I didn't really have to. And I always walked around kind of looking for a fight or looking for confrontation, even though in reality, I am not the type of person to do those things. So I struggled a lot of time with authenticity and just trying to find myself. And one of the ways I would try to find myself is to try to be like other people and try to fit in or try to be cool. And I think that a lot of us have those qualities growing up. You might watch this video and exhibit some of those qualities that I'm talking about, but it's important to be yourself. And we hear that a lot, is be yourself, be yourself. And it sounds so cliche because, like, what does it mean to be myself, right? It just means to be authentic. It means to state how you feel. It means to not be afraid to take the opportunities to learn and grow from others. And I truly believe that when you learn how to be authentic in who you are, that's when your true beauty as a human being and your gifts begin to shine. I often found myself comparing my success to other people's success. It's so easy to do that in the world we live in now with social media, technology, and just about everything we do. in society. You have societal norms and you have people who are going to judge you because of X, Y, and Z reason, and you can't really escape that judgment at the end of the day. I know that for me personally, I could get jealous of people very easily. Like, for example, this is something that a lot of us might be able to relate to, is that when I was in high school, there would be a girl that I liked, and I never really had the courage to go talk to her because I was never really secure enough within myself and I wasn't mature enough to do so. But if there was another guy who was confident enough to talk to her and was dating her or whatever, then I would feel jealous and begin to compare the quality of my life to theirs. And that's something you shouldn't do, because I truly believe that everybody's journey is different, right? So you shouldn't compare the quality of your life to someone else's because you live on a different path and your path isn't going to look the same as someone else's. You should never compare your life to other people's, because at the end of the day, you are a unique person with unique gifts, and your path is going to be different from another person's. Even if your sibling, you grew up in the same house as the other person or grew up in the same environment, it's not going to change the fact that you are your own unique person. So having that authenticity is important, and having that maturity and understanding that you don't have to compare your quality of life to others is very important. It's going to be liberating, it's going to be freeing, and it's going to allow you to live a much happier life. Goku has what I like to call, or what is called or known as, a can-do attitude. Now, a can-do attitude is pretty much always having a positive mindset. No matter what goes wrong or what happens or what obstacles come across Goku's path, he always tries his best. He's not afraid of confrontation. He's not afraid to step up and give his all in any challenge. There have been so many fighters in the Dragon Ball series who have been stronger than Goku. It wasn't like Goku just came to Earth and he was the strongest to ever exist. Now, to some degree that's true, right? Because in original Dragon Ball, there was a lot of times where Goku would just naturally be stronger than his opponents, like, Yamcha or Oolong or Puar. And I can't believe I'm saying Puar was even a fighter at that point, but any of those characters, any of the characters he fought in the martial arts tournaments, even Krillin, he was a lot stronger than naturally. However, as he grew, there were characters that were stronger than him. Goku's can-do attitude is honestly one of the qualities that, in my opinion, makes him so strong. And it's because he can fail so many times, or he can go up against somebody who is stronger than him or more experienced than him. But because he's so willing to gain knowledge, and he's so willing to learn and grow, and he's so willing to improve himself, because that's what Goku's all about. It's like self-improvement, right? Just becoming stronger, becoming a better fighter, and challenging himself. He literally cannot lose, because even if he loses the fight, so long as he stays alive, which in some cases he didn't stay alive, he comes back even stronger. And that's really the embodiment of what being a Saiyan really is when you think about it in the story. And that's one thing I love about Goku. It's one of the reasons why for so long it felt like Vegeta couldn't really surpass him, because Goku, not only was he authentically himself, but his attitude was just so positive. It's like when your attitude is positive, when you have positive energy, you attract whatever you are on par with that frequency, if that makes sense, right? So like, you are going to attract in your life the energy that you give off. Goku always has a positive attitude, it feels like. And it feels like even in times where he has doubt or things look tough, he always believes in himself, and therefore his friends and family also believe in him because of the sheer determination that he has to help them and help himself and grow. I myself have noticed that I do have sort of a can-do attitude now with just about anything in life. I feel like I've sort of developed, and obviously I'm not perfect, but I've come to develop to a point where I can look at everything with positivity, most things in my life. And even a setback that you deal with, failure is not a bad thing, right? Failure is going to allow you to learn a lesson, and then you can bounce back and recover and then improve even more. And it's always important to take every single opportunity that's given to you, or every single opportunity that presents itself to you. And when you learn to look at your life through this lens, similarly that Goku does, where he looks at an opportunity to fight somebody who's really strong, he looks at that as an opportunity to grow and to get better. You can literally do the same thing with your life and just about every single thing that you do. Whether it's a job interview, whether it's a woman you like, whether it's an opportunity to make new friends, or really just anything. You can apply that same principle and logic to that. And that is so powerful. And I can't stress enough that I believe that everyone should strive to have a can-do attitude. Another quality that Goku has is a pure heart. And this is something that Akira Toriyama really just made well known with this character early on, especially in early, original days of Dragon Ball. Having a pure heart is, I feel like it's so rare nowadays. There are so many people who are willing to lie and cheat and steal their way to the top. There's so many people who are willing to take advantage of you. There's so many people who are willing to do wrong by you for their own benefit, and they have no regard. Having a pure heart is so rare, and I truly believe that having a pure heart is a gift. It can be a curse as well, because we've seen demonstrated a lot of times with Goku that his pure heart sometimes gets him in danger. We saw on Planet Namek with Frieza, right? Where Goku has defeated Frieza, and he is willing to actually, despite Frieza killing Krillin, despite Frieza saying all these harmful things and saying he wants to rule the universe, despite Frieza being just pure evil, trying to kill Goku and kill his son, and destroy the entire planet and kill all the Namekians, Goku still is willing to give him some of his energy so that Frieza can fly off of Namek and save himself. That just shows you how pure Goku's heart is. And then Frieza obviously tries to kill Goku while Goku is giving him some of his energy. And it's important to know, obviously, if you're in a situation where you shouldn't really trust somebody, it's important to have that quality of knowing when to trust somebody and when not to. But I truly believe that having a pure heart is really important. To me, pure-hearted just means you're a good person. You do right by people, and you are trusting of others. I believe that we need more trust in this world, because trust is such a big part in any relationship you have with anyone. If you don't have trust, what do you have? For me personally, if somebody breaks my trust, I feel like trust is the foundation. Trust is everything to me. If my trust was broken, then I can never really have any sort of relationship with you. But that's where having that logic and, not letting the pure heart just go to your head, because, if your heart is too pure and maybe you're a little gullible, you might fall for some of those tricks and people will take advantage of you. But I also believe that not everybody is going to try to take advantage of you. There's good people and there's good souls, and if everybody just had a little bit more purity to them and made better decisions for themselves and others, the world would be so much more of a better, loving place, and we wouldn't see as much hurt or pain or violence as we do nowadays. So again, I can't stress enough why I love Goku's pure heart, because that's a quality of him that I've tried to adopt. I've tried to make myself as pure as possible. And I'm not saying that I'm perfect and that we can't have fun and we can't joke around, but it's important to know the boundaries. It's important to have that experience of knowing what's right and wrong. And honestly, I think that just comes with growing up and becoming more mature, but it also comes from who you learn it from. And it's crazy to say it, but Goku taught me that. There is one specific part of Dragon Ball Z that I absolutely love, and I still go back and watch to this day just for this specific part. It is when Gohan and Goku are in the Cell Saga, and they are training in the hyperbolic time chamber together to try to eventually defeat Cell, become strong enough to defeat Cell, to surpass the original. Goku's trying to surpass the original level of Super Saiyan, because he believes that's what it's going to take to beat Cell. Gohan is not yet a Super Saiyan, and Gohan's dealing with some self-doubt. Gohan doesn't necessarily think he's very strong. Gohan doesn't necessarily think he can really contribute much to stopping Cell. Gohan kind of puts all his stock into his father and what his father is going to do to beat Cell. Gohan has trouble believing in himself. And I truly believe that obviously a lot of us have problems believing in ourselves, right? We all deal with self-doubt. And what Goku said to Gohan in that episode of Z really just stuck with me, because I feel like I was Gohan in that position.
Listen, son, you are going to become a Super Saiyan.
Me, a Super Saiyan?
Yes.
Wow, really? You think I really can?
In time, but you have to take this training very seriously. Of course, we'll take it one step at a time. When you're ready, you'll move to the next level. But it's not going to be easy.
I understand, but how hard will it be?
It'll be the toughest thing you've ever done. Hey, you're my son. I know that you'll be able to do it. And don't forget, you're a descendant of the Saiyan race too. I want you to do the best that you can. And no matter what, I'll always be proud of you. Understand?
I have self-doubt. We all have self-doubt, but I have severe self-doubt. It feels like all my life I've doubted myself, my self-worth, and how much I meant to others, and if I was worthy of others, or worthy of opportunities, worthy of anything. And I never had somebody sit down and tell me that I was worth something. I never felt like I had someone tell me that I could. Someone seriously sit down and say to me that I was worthy for XYZ thing. And when I heard that on the episode, what Goku had said, it seriously just, it blew my mind. Like, I never thought that I was going to get something so profound and so deep and meaningful out of an anime, out of like a quote-unquote cartoon that people like to call it. That really was the day that, and I already loved Goku, but that day was just like, it just changed everything for me, my whole point of view and perspective on the character. Many of the characters in the Dragon Ball franchise inspired me to work out. And obviously seeing these Saiyans just get really buff and go Super Saiyan, and they have their shirts ripped off and they're just shredded, and they have all these, like crazy abs and crazy physiques. Obviously that's really motivating, but Goku especially just motivated me to just push myself beyond my limits, quite literally. His training in the chamber going to Namek with the 100 times gravity is obviously one that we can all kind of reference and we kind of remember as like a badass moment in the series. But seeing Goku push himself, it just hit different. I don't know what it was. Like, it did something for me. Like, and I think a lot of you can probably relate to this as well, where it's just like you saw him pushing himself and you think to yourself like, man, like, I could do that. I could push further. I could try harder, right? One of his like famous quotes is, I could go one step further if I wanted to, right? You could go one step further if you really wanted to. You could apply yourself more to whatever it is in life if you really wanted to. You could try harder, you can push harder, you can surpass that limit that you have on yourself, you can surpass that limit that you have on your mind, you can surpass that limit that you've put on others, whatever it is. Goku did that for me. My training went to the next level, because I always was kind of into fitness when I was younger, but once I started watching Dragon Ball, it was like, it just completely took off. Like, I took exercise a lot more seriously, and Goku definitely did that for me. It's amazing. I can't believe it. Like, honestly, just how healthy I am now, right? And how much I've taken care of my body the past few years is like a testament to the character of Goku. And seeing someone determined and someone really push themselves can be motivating for a lot of people. Like, the energy that people exude or give off can rub off on everyone around you. And I don't think a lot of people really realize that. They're kind of just like, you know, people say energy doesn't lie or they get a vibe from somebody, but energy plays such a big part in the daily life that we live, even though we can't necessarily see like physical energy. But the energy that you give off can rub off on others, right? So seeing Goku push himself and the determination he had and how powerful he became, but just seeing him believe in himself, seeing him believe in others, that inspired me. It inspired me not to just work out, but it inspired me to, when I was running track, to run faster. It inspired me to love my family more and appreciate them more. It inspired me to grow and try to find my purpose and put in more work for that. And it inspired me to get better grades. It inspired me in just about every single area of life. So that's another thing that you guys should keep in mind, is that the energy that you give off is going to rub off on others. And it's going to affect others in many more ways than you think, right? So like, if you're somebody with negative energy all the time and you always have a bad attitude, you have the opposite of a can-do attitude. You have a can't-do attitude, right? Where it's just everything's impossible, everything's a drag, whatever it is. Like, that's going to rub off on others, and many people might be turned off by it. Or you'll, like I said earlier, you'll attract the energy that you give off. So you'll end up surrounding yourself with people that kind of feel the same way. And a lot of times that can lead you down a really dark path. So that's one thing to keep in mind, is just the energy that you give off every single day. This next one might be a little bit of a hot take, but Goku is a great father. I know that he has a stigma, and one of his characteristics that people kind of know and love or hate him for is him being a bad father and him not being there for his children. I can understand why, so I can see the side of the coin where you guys are saying, well, he's a bad father, he doesn't take care of Gohan, he doesn't take care of Goten. I can totally understand that. However, I also see the other side of it, of why he is a great father. You do not have to live your life based on the limits that other people put on you. Many of us do not follow our dreams. We don't go after what we want. We don't say how we truly feel, because of the opinions of others, and especially people close to us. It's important to go after the things that you want to do and to try to do the things that you love to do, because that will allow you to feel a more fulfilled life, and it would also allow you to gain more of that positive energy so it can rub off on others, and you can create just a community and city and a whole world of positivity around you. A circle of positivity, if you will. Goku is not always there with his family, I agree. However, Goku is always working hard. Goku's always working hard, and by him working that hard, he can protect his family. I won't say really provide for, because I don't think Goku really ever had a job at any point in the series, maybe in Super in the beginning, right? But Goku loves his family. He really does. He loves them so much, and his training isn't just for him. Like, sure, he's growing and trying to become stronger, but I believe it's deeper than that. I believe he always has a why, and one of his whys is to protect his family. How many times has he saved Earth, right? Like, comment down below how many times Goku has saved Earth, if you know off the top of your head. I don't know off the top of my head right now. I'd have to do some research on that, try to remember, but Goku loves his family, and even though he's not always available all the time, he's always doing what he loves. It's not like he's out here like, you know, he loves his family, but he's out here like, you know, messing around and, you know, drinking and having a good time and being lazy, and he's kind of just laying back, and he's like, no, like, Goku a lot of the times are fighting the battles that his family can't fight. And Goku doesn't just love his family, he loves Earth. That's why he fights so hard to protect it. So I get that Goku isn't always there for his kids or his loved ones or Chi-Chi, whatever. And so he could be there more. I mean, for God's sake, he has instant transmission. Like, he should be there all the time if he could. But I feel like Goku, he's misunderstood in that way. He definitely truly loves his family. One thing we also have to remember is that Goku is an alien, and he was not raised on this planet. And he also had a bad head injury when he first came to Earth. Goku's not perfect. He's not going to be the best father. He's not going to be the best adult ever. He is not a human being, but a flawed character. And just like all of us are flawed human beings, we all have imperfections. We all have things that we can improve on. We all have probably things that we shouldn't have said to somebody that we regret saying, decisions that we shouldn't have made that we regret making, choices that we wish we could go back and change. But at the end of the day, it's what makes us human. And at the end of the day, you have to just do your best. And I believe that's what Goku always does. Goku always does his best for himself and for his family as well. Another thing I will say about Goku being a bad father is, you're right, Goku might be a terrible father in the sense that he's not always there for his kids. However, he's not the worst father, because there are many fathers out there that don't love their kids. They shouldn't even be around kids. They shouldn't have their own kids. They don't take care of their kids. Forget not being there. I'd rather have a father that's not there at all than have a father that's there but always belittles me, always abuses me, does me wrong, right? Does my rest of my family wrong, says negative things about me, puts me down. That's what a lot of people deal with. So always just be grateful for what you have. I know this isn't really like much of a motivational video. It's not supposed to be, but understand that there's so many people that have it so much worse off than you. If you have a loving father, appreciate them. Love them with all your heart. Because there's so many people that just don't have that, or they didn't have that growing up, like myself, and maybe you can relate to this as well. Goku's not the worst father, okay? Like, he's better than so many fathers out there, and he's a fictional character. So, if anything, this should just motivate you to be a better parent or father, or whatever you want to be. Because there's so many children who grew up or are growing up without a strong father figure. There's so many people out there that I'm sure can relate to the amount of impact that Goku has had, and not just Goku, but any fictional character has had on their lives, the positive impacts they've had, the qualities and character traits that these characters show. Some of them, a lot of them, you can take with you in life, and that's one thing that I really like to express on this channel, and how important that is, and how you can gain knowledge and you can gain perspective from just about anything in life, whether it be good or bad. It's crazy that a fictional character has affected me so much and done so well for my life. I have Akira Toriyama, and rest in peace to him, to thank, because without him, I don't think I would be the person I am today. And in fact, I know I wouldn't be the person I am today. Such a prolific character, such a powerful character, such a wonderful character, such a wonderful franchise. I truly love it with all my heart, and not just Goku, but the Dragon Ball series is always going to have a place in my heart. And that's not just because the fights are cool, it's not just because of the color schemes or the art or the voice acting when Goku turns Super Saiyan 3, it's not because of any of that. It's because of the impact that the series has had on my life, the impact that Goku has had on my life. Goku is the father that I never had. Goku is the one that I looked up to, and as funny as that might sound to some people, Goku's the one I looked up to when I was in those darkest moments, my darkest days, and I think a lot of people can relate to that, and a lot more people can relate to that than one would think. He's truly a phenomenal character, and he's taught me so much about life, just in general, working hard, loving yourself, not having self-doubt, getting rid of self-doubt, feeling worthy of others, taking care of others, loving others, appreciating the life you have, being positive, having a positive attitude. A lot of these things, I'll just be real with you guys, they don't teach you this stuff in school. They don't. A lot of this stuff you might not learn in school. A lot of this stuff you're not just going to learn from getting a degree. A lot of these things you develop over time from parents teaching you these things, but a lot of them you might just have to develop from your own experience. You might have to look for other outlets to find some of these skills and some of these, just grow and gain maturity, because age is just a number. I know we hear that term a lot, but to me, age doesn't mean anything. You can be 55, 60 years old and have so much more life experience, quote unquote life experience, than I do, but you can still have the mentality of a toddler who just throws tantrums when they don't get their way and puts people down and harasses and abuses, whether it be verbally or physically. Is that really mature? Is that really emotionally intelligent? Is that really the kind of person that you want to be? Is that really the kind of people that you want to surround yourself with? Goku has taught me so much about life. I don't care what anybody says. He is one of the best characters that I've ever seen, and he's a hero. But he ain't just a hero in Dragon Ball. He's not just a hero for saving Earth or saving Namek. He's a hero for us. He's a hero for you. He's a hero for me. He's a hero for this world. And Akira Toriyama is a hero for creating such a phenomenal character, phenomenal story. I know this was a very deep video. If you guys are still sticking with me, rocking with it, I appreciate you guys so much. I want to say that I love you guys. You are family to me. I know I need to be more consistent with my uploads. I understand that, but like I said, we're all trying to improve, and I'm just trying to get better every single day and do the best I can for myself, for you guys. And again, I know this was a deep video, but if you love Goku as much as I do, hit the like button, comment below, because I read every single comment, and I try to answer as many of them as I can. But I really appreciate you guys, and I hope you guys took something from this video. I hope I didn't make you too emotional at any points, but I hope you guys learned something, and I want to continue to learn and grow from you guys as well. So again, if you like Goku, let me know in the comments below how much you love him. What do you love about him? And yeah, I love you guys. I'll see you in the next one.